So let's get to these latest polls. The latest national poll, not looking good for Hillary Clinton. A brand new CBS News New York Times survey showing Clinton just 2 points ahead of Donald Trump, 46-44 in a two-way matchup among likely voters. When you factor in third-party candidates, they're tied at 42%. Guy Benson is political editor of townhall.com and a Fox News contributor. Bernard Whitman is a former Bill Clinton pollster and CEO of Whitman Insight Strategies. All right, Guy, this is a pretty tight race 54 days out.
Sure is. I think I see a little fear in Bernard's eyes today, and I understand why. He's got a horse in this race. He's bet heavily on her. I don't really have a horse in the race, so let me just say what's happening. Hillary Clinton right now is tanking, not just nationally, where her big lead after the convention is gone, but in crucial swing states. 3 consecutive Ohio polls now have Donald Trump in the lead. He is now leading in the average, according to Real Clear Politics, in Ohio, Florida, Iowa. He is hot on her trail in North Carolina, as we just heard, also Nevada, and gaining elsewhere, including Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, even Virginia and Colorado. So she is still the favorite in the race, I think, overall, looking at the electoral map. But there is now more than ever, I think, a realistic chance she could lose this race to Donald Trump.
All right, well, you say still the favorite. Bernard, is Hillary Clinton's team worried?
No, look, I think there's a number of things that are made clear by this poll. Number one, there's going to be a lot of volatility for the next 7.5 weeks. We've always known that to be true. This is going to be a very close race. It's going to come down to turnout. But one thing is also very clear, and that is Hillary Clinton has always led in every single one of these polls, either a big national lead or a small national lead. We've never seen Donald Trump take any sort of substantial lead whatsoever. And contrary to Guy's rosy picture for the Trump campaign, he still has a very, very difficult map to reach 270. Hillary Clinton has a number of different ways that she can thread together 270 electoral votes. And with states like Georgia and Arizona in play for the Democrats, he's got to win all of these states. He basically has to run the table. But the key is going to be turnout, turnout, turnout.
All right. Bill Clinton, while Hillary Clinton was resting in Chappaqua, has been on the campaign trail talking in support of his wife. He's had a series of recent gaffes. Notably, recently, he referenced her having the flu when her doctor said he diagnosed her with pneumonia. And he also had some comments about Condoleezza Rice. Watch this.
Frequently, not frequently, that's not it. Rarely, but on more than one occasion over the last many, many years, the same sort of things happened to her when she just got severely dehydrated.
It's a crazy time we live in, you know, when people think there's something unusual about getting the flu. Last time I checked, millions of people were getting it every year. Secretary Rice didn't do emails, smart girl.
Smart girl. Bernard, 54 days out, is Bill Clinton no longer the closer?
Look, Bill Clinton is one of the most beloved politicians in America. His favorability is 53%. That's only a point below the president, who actually has a 54% favorability rating, and by the way, a 58% approval rating. Hillary Clinton has a huge cadre of surrogates that are going to be out on the campaign trail. Right. The president, the vice president, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. Bill Clinton still remains one of our most popular politicians at a time when politicians are routinely seen in a negative light.
Talk about popular politicians. Chris Christie once was, and he is now talking about why he didn't get that VP slot. Guy, I want to get your response to this.
How much of a factor do you believe the trouble with the Bridgegate was a factor in you not getting picked for vice president?
I'm sure it was a factor.
How big?
You'd have to ask him, but I'm sure it was a factor.
Interesting to hear him say it, Guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously right. His numbers, he won this massive re-election in New Jersey a couple of years ago in really very impressive form for a Republican in that state. But then the bridge stuff started to build and build in the media headlines, and his numbers just collapsed across the board in New Jersey. So I think the Trump campaign ultimately viewed Chris Christie as, on balance, a liability without a real big constituency anywhere, which is why they went with a, I think, safer pick in their minds in Mike Pence.
All right, and an update on the leaked emails coming from Colin Powell's private email. Remember, it was revealed in some of those emails that he referenced Donald Trump as a national disgrace and an international pariah. Well, Donald Trump, not holding back, tweeting out in response to those emails, I was never a fan of Colin Powell after his weak understanding of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Disaster. We can do much better. Guy, your response first, then Bernard.
Oh, I mean, this is what Trump does when he's insulted. He insults back. It was just one tweet, though, so I think that's relatively restrained for Donald Trump. Maybe Kellyanne Conway saying, you get one tweet, Donald, make it relatively chill, and we can move on.
Bernard.
You know, I think what this shows is the incredible difference in reaction between these two. Donald Trump disparages a national hero, a guy who has given his entire life, who's respected across the aisle, who is a hero to tens of millions of Americans, including millions of African Americans. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, said, you know what, I have a lot of respect for him. I have sympathy for the fact that his private correspondence became public, and I'm not really going to comment on it. It really shows the difference in character and the difference in reaction to the two different people who may be commander-in-chief.
All right, Guy, last
Yeah,
word,
but that's what she might have said, but she scribbled his name into her burn book of enemies lists.
All right.
Not true.
Guy Benson, Bernard Whitman, thank you.
Thanks,
for joining
Sandra.
us.
Thank you.
Good to have you.